Well, I have two things, and I'll let you choose.
Okay.
I have something related to craft breweries,
As one does.
a type quiz, so it's beer related.
Ooh.
But I also have a new segment too that we could do called Old Man of the Week.
Now, you brought that last one up in our emails when we're trying to, figure out what's going on. And the quiz, I assume, will stay good because we're not going to not talk about craft breweries anytime soon. But I want to do this Old Man of the Week. Old Man who? What did you call it? Old Man of the Week?
Old Man of the Week.
Crotchety Old Man of the Week?
Crotchety Old Man of the Week. And I say that because old men seem to kind of plague this podcast, at least since you've started, Jeremy.
Yeah, I do that.
We had the old man on the
Kalamazoo
Stout, and classically, I was cornered by an old man in a grocery store, Grandpa Simpson as we called him, and I had to talk to him for about 20 minutes on some rambling topics as we were just innocuously trying to purchase some beer for the future episodes.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
So I'm going to continue with the old man theme. Now I'm going to send you a picture of this crotchety old man, and on a scale of 1 to 10, you tell me how crotchety you think he looks.
All right.
I sent to you Skype, and I think it...
Yeah. There she blows. That's pretty... Is that one of the Bartles and James guys?
It is not.
This looks familiar. I don't know why.
You might have seen this picture before.
I mean, maybe. So let me see if we can play face here, even though we both have the pictures up.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing what appears to be a John Deere baseball cap.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing a greenish sweater with a collared shirt underneath it that needs some starch in its collar. He's holding an Imperial pint glass. He is a very wrinkly old man. If I had to guess, I'd say he's either a young 87 or an old 82. He looks like he's seen some things.
Yes. You're pretty good with the age there, so...
Is this the old man from the beginning of Friday the 13th that tells the kids not to go up to the lake?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
This gentleman is known as Harry R. Truman. Now, the reason why Harry R. Truman is known...
Is it his dad?
Nope, this dates back to 1980. And he was the first victim of the Mount St. Helens eruption.
Oh, Jesus.
And I recently read a book called Eruption, The Untold Story of Mount St. Helens. And as most kind of crotchety old men go, he refused to leave his home at the foot of the mountain, about 1 mile away from the summit. And he was pretty much directly in the line of fire.
I shouldn't be laughing.
He was 83?
Oh, wow.
He was an older guy.
He was the hard 82.
Yeah, exactly. And so he became a media darling after it was revealed that he refused to leave. He thought that the trees would either slow down the eruption
Doesn't work like that.
Or the trees were just mowed down like toothpicks, or that he could run. When a hurricane force wind of volcanic ash is coming at you, you can't really run from that.
What with the lack of breathing and everything.
Yeah, and the burnings and So he became a media darling for his stance. He conducted a lot of interviews with different media outlets in the run-up time to the eruption, and I have a short clip here of Harry talking to a reporter. I found this on YouTube, but couldn't find where it was originally broadcast or anything, so I don't have a citation for it, but it's kind of self-explanatory anyway. Anyway, here is Harry, so you get to hear what he sounds like and kind of his attitude towards this whole situation.
84-year-old Harry Truman felt the quakes, but he also felt they wouldn't do him any harm.
I've been used to them. There's been 400 now in 2 weeks. At least 400 has hit me. Day and night has kept me shaking around, quivering.
Truman ran the lodge on the shore of Spirit Lake, which lay directly north of the volcano. He'd watched as scientists talked about what the volcano could do to the area around it. But Truman refused to believe that the mountain was dangerous.
I look at that stuff on television, radio, and I said, oh, pooh. The press has blown it up. They have blown it out of all proportion.
Now, all this black stuff coming out of the mountain here, that's not being blown up by the press.
No, it's not being blown up by the press, but the magnitude of the thing, the disaster thing of the thing, I think that they're exaggerating.
School children sent him letters, saying, we love you. He was kind of this adorable old man, even though he was hard to quote because of all the swearing he did. Again, playing into the crotchety picture. He got a letter from the governor kind of praising him for his steadfastness and refusal to listen to logic, I guess. The governor of Washington was a big idiot at that point. Even though Mount St. Helens was literally bulging, it essentially had a big, what was called a cryptodome of basically this big bulge of rock with magma underneath pushing it out. He didn't leave. The kind of sad part I heard was that even though he was being all crotchety to the media, like behind the scenes, he was kind of nervous and being torn apart and kind of cornered himself into having to stay there after making all these brash claims in the media. So he got buried under 150 feet of ash.
Oh, Jesus.
Along with his 16 cats. Oh. So you feel a little bad for him.
Yeah, I can see the cats.
He was 83. I believe it was his daughter or some close relation to him said that even if he had evacuated after seeing what happened to the lake that he lived by in his home, he probably would have died of shock anyway. So, he died where he wanted to, in his home, right by Spirit Lake, right at the foot of the mountain. So, a little sad, but, kind of you got to give him a salute for that. So,
can we say he died doing what he loved?
I think you can say that. Being
buried in 150 foot of ash
and refusing to do what anybody else told him to. So
take that, the man.
Yeah, we'll dedicate our FDR to Harry R. Truman, a crotchety old man, but
so that's pretty crotchety.
That's pretty crotchety. We salute you. You went out like a champ, albeit you probably didn't have to.
Now get off my lawn.